Hello again, and we're back with news from our neighbours. Despite Zimbabwe's low COVID-19 infection and death rate, the lockdown is tearing through its fragile economy. The European Union is providing nearly 1.4 billion rand in aid to help fight the virus. The country continues to face soaring inflation as well as food and medicine shortages. We speak now to Zenzele Ndebele, who is in Bulawayo in Zimbabwe. For us, thank you very much for joining us. And of course, the country in need of external aid. Talk us through what it is that we have been seeing in terms of funding that has been coming through to Zimbabwe.
Thank you very much. Yes, Zimbabwe is in need of financial help, mainly because of the economic situation, and the lockdown has worsened the position. A few weeks ago, the finance minister wrote to the international lending institutions asking for about 200 million, but he only managed to get 7 million from the World Bank. So far, the European Union has provided nearly $1 billion rands in terms of money that can be used to fight COVID. The United States of America has provided $6 million US dollars. Then we also have the Global Fund that have come in with about 25 million. Then we also have private companies like the African Metallian Gold Group gave in 5 million. JECMA provided test kits and protective clothing. EcoShow, which is a subsidiary of Econet, provided also insurance for workers. And we've had a number of private initiatives and citizens that are donating towards the fight for COVID.
And of course, this is much needed aid, as we alluded to earlier, but there is concern from some Zimbabweans with people saying, well, Parliament is not in session, so oversight might be an issue here.
Yes, I mean, the major problem is that Zimbabwe has always not been transparent when it comes to monies that they borrow or they are given by other people. We know that Zimbabwe has an external debt for about 1.2 billion US dollars, and people are complaining that without the parliament in session, there is likelihood that some of these monies could be misused and misappropriated because there is no oversight role of parliament. So it's a concern, and people are saying with corruption that is very high, how are they assured that the monies are going to be used for what they are meant to, which is fighting COVID and actually making sure that the ordinary person does not go hungry, as most of them are not working?
Is this not why Zimbabwe has a COVID-19 task force? What is their job?
Well, the one thing funny about the task force, the COVID task force, the first thing that they did when they were put in place was to buy SUVs and the luxury cars for the task force, when we actually did not have enough isolation centers. So I find that sometimes these task forces are just where people pay each other allowances and buy expensive off-road cars when we don't have isolation centers. In Bulawayo, we are still renovating isolation centers. Ekusile, one of the isolation centers, needs 200 beds, and we don't have those 200 beds. Thorn Grove is under renovation now, and mostly these are initiatives by private individuals, companies, and government is nowhere to be seen to bring in resources to actually make sure that we are ready to fight COVID.
And this, as many countries around the continent are planning for the worst and preparing the isolation centers. We also understand that the country has been printing new notes, $10 and $20 notes. What does this tell us? Does this remind us of a time in history?
Yeah, it basically means that we are going back to 2008, where inflation was going up every day. So we are printing, according to Reserve Bank officials, we are printing a new $10 notes and $20 notes, because the $5 notes that we have now are almost useless. So if we are not careful, we are going to go back to the 2008 era. And you know what? One thing that is strange about COVID in Zimbabwe and the preparedness, when COVID was wreaking havoc in China, the Minister of Information in Zimbabwe actually published a statement saying that they were willing to help China fight COVID. So I'm not sure what they were going to do if they cannot fight for their own people. So inflation is going to go up, and many people, half of the population, need food aid. So we are really in a fragile situation.
You're speaking of the population. What is the sentiment on the ground in Bulawayo, at least where you are?
Frustration. A lot of people survive by selling in the streets. Currently, there is no vending that is allowed. Only big companies and those who are able to test people can go back to work. So with many people surviving by selling this and that and cross-border trading, the borders are closed. So people cannot come to South Africa. They cannot go to Botswana. Even there is hunger. People are complaining that the trucks, because the Malaitas who are carrying food stuff have been trying to use trucks to carry food. And most of these trucks are actually actually stuck at Bay Border Post, where they are charged loads of money in terms of duty, and they are supposed to pay bribes to a lot of people. So there is starvation. People are hungry. They want food. They cannot cross over to Botswana. They cannot come to South Africa for shopping. So it's a mess.
Thank you very much. Zenzele Ndebele in Bulawayo there for us for that update.